Well, welcome back to the channel, guys. And today, what are we doing? We're doing the WLED LEDs around the room. Quite simple, but we're going to get everything right. The first thing I'm going to do is this little shelf that goes around. I've got to brace that up. I've got to screw it in properly and get that all nice. Then V's going to come out and she's going to wax it, so it takes on a little bit of a better sort of authentic look. Yeah, just a little bit of aesthetics, isn't it? And first thing I've been doing, I've been going around where I've been cutting here. I've been just carefully taking off all the little ends just to make it look a little bit neater. Right, the LEDs will be running in these little tracks. I've got to drill holes in them so I can screw them in. And then we literally put a little plastic shield over the top so it diffuses it. So that'll be running all the way around. And I'm also going to show you how to program an ESP32 chip, so that you can run WLED. It's quite a simple process, but there are multiple steps that we've got to go through. So by the end of this video, if you stick with me, not only are you going to see what we're doing, but more to the point, you're going to know how to program an ESP32 chip and start your own project. Don't have to be what we're doing. It could be anything else, but it means you'll be able to control your LEDs. How good's that, eh?
It's already waxed, isn't they? So
Alexa, stop.
It's just topping it up, really.
Yeah, it is just topping it off, isn't it? Yeah.
Are you filming? That's naughty.
So there we are. That's nearly painted on though. And then what we'll do after that is she'll get a rag and she'll just rub it off, so it sort of stains.
Almost polish it, really.
Polish it, yeah. Now the corner there we have got to cut yet, or I have got to cut yet into a curve.
Do you want me to do it?
Well, you could do it if you want. Less pressure then.
These are my tools.
And I have all the rest. So here we are. I've just jigsawed the corner. And we're just going to smooth it. It's my tool for many things. This rasp is brilliant. It's paid for itself over and over and over. It was actually my dad who introduced me to this. And to finish it off, might seem very unorthodox, but sharp blade, just run along the edge. It just takes all the fairy bits off. And then Via come behind me and wax out, which I've just got my hands. And that's job done. Next thing is laying the tracks for the LEDs. There she is, that's straight in behind me. That's how keen she is to get this room done.
Keen to get out the coat.
So there we are. That's the all the waxing done now. He's polished it off, and you can see that's looking quite good, isn't it? We're now wondering, because we're going to do pallet wood up from here, from the shelf, and we're now wondering whether we should wax it or whether we're going to burn it. So we're going to do one of each. And we're going to make a decision, but we'll show you how we do the burning process, and we'll show you how we do the wax. Well, you've seen the waxing process now. Really quick and simple, and it looks quite effective, I think. Right, so the next step for me in this process is I've just drilled holes in all of these. I just literally, this is the tracking for the LED, and just so we can have diffusers. Now I literally clamped them all together and drilled 3 holes in them, so save time, and then I can lay them out, and we just have to literally, we're going to have a running all along. So the first one in line there, and they're pretty much all straight runs. They just all go together until we get to the very, very corners. I have some special connectors. I'm going to show you all the connectors I bought, and I'll show you. We will link them to. We will show you, or I will show you where I bought them. So if you wanted to do this and want to use the same connectors, it will make everything that just that little bit easier. So I'm going to Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just putting in the track, and we've got a few angles up there, I'll show you them in a sec, and just miter joints. So you can see here where I've cut the miter joints, and these will cover up the brackets that we put on underneath them to brace the shelf. You can see it's all running down, and then we'll lay the LED in there. I spoke earlier about the fixings that you can get for the LEDs. I'm just going to show you them now. I'm just going to lay them out so you can see them. For going around corners, we have these connectors, and I'm going to put the actual name of them below. So there we are, we have a right angled one, and you lay the LED in there, and let's see if I can. So you can see you've got the 3 contacts on the LED. They correspond there, so you're able to go around at 90 degrees, and you just put the clips down. And at the very end, if you want to run power, or you want to run you want to have areas where you don't want the LED actually in place, but you want to connect 2 sections, what you can do is you can run wires in that end, put the LED in that end, you clip them together, and then you could have, that's clever, how do I drop it down that hole? And then you could have a section of the wall, maybe there was an area, like for instance, if we look here, so we end there, and we carry on and we want to continue LEDs over here, say, we could have wires that could be hidden and then reappear here. So it makes everything a lot easier to do. So now we've got the tracking in, the next step is to just remove the adhesive backing and connect all the LEDs up. So we're going to take it down to there, put one of those 90-degree connectors in, and then continue down to there and carry on again another 90-degree connector until we get to the far end. It is quite a satisfying job to do, really. It's quite nice, and when you get to the far end of it, it makes it all worthwhile. So once you've laid the LEDs into the track, then you get the diffuser top, and just lay that in. I'm not doing the edges yet because I want to make sure all the corners, because I want to make sure that the LEDs are definitely all working, because that's where they join. So when we get to that point, we've got to program the chip and everything before we can definitely find out about that. So it just makes everything a little bit easier rather than messing around trying to take everything back out. So you can just like push it in one side, click it down the other, and I'm just going to make sure it's lining up there before we Push it in like that. You can hear it click. And as you work along, do that. So just got the plastic out before. It's statically charged. It carries on here. So there we are. And it's just as simple as that. So we'll do all that all the way along with. So lift the corners just to make sure everything's working. The rest of it can be done. Well, here we are. We're back on the doing the LEDs in the bar room. We've had Christmas, so I've had a bit of a break. But what has come out of that break is I've managed to design an enclosure for the WLED controller. I think I've got a nice little setup there now, which I will show you in a separate video how I did it. And I think I will also probably make them available for sale. Anyway, beside the point, we're having a few problems, and the problems are, and I'm going to take you over and show you. Right, this is the problem we're having. These connectors, I thought they were a good idea, but they make and break. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect everything back up a minute, and I'm going to show you what's happening. Now you can see, I'll power them up now so you can just see it temporarily. Now as soon as I start pushing down, we're going to take them away from there, and you can see that connection is making and breaking. No matter what I do, it's a very dodgy connection. What do you want to answer for it, innit, really? I'm going to put hard wires, I'm going to solder wires. Connectors, it's only there, and if we turn over there, the actual unit is over there at the moment, but it's going to end up here. So we're going to connect wires here and take it back, so the controller will be over there somewhere. So that's what we're going to do next. Is I'm going to solder some wires on, and we'll get that done. Well, I've spent the entire afternoon messing around with this. The power now comes into this side, the data goes into that side of the LEDs, and this is what's happening. So, in desperation, I think I'm going to take the power over to that side. So data and power is going to be over that side. Hello V. So I'm going to take data and power over to that side. So because you can only run data one way on an LED because it's a diode, so you can only go one way. And I think having the power coming that side and the data coming that side is causing the problem. All works, so all the soldering's good, but it's not picking up and working as I want. So I think I'm just going to remove these wires here. If we're coming a bit closer, that's the power wires. Remove them, and then while we've got the opportunity, I am going to take the wires over and connect them there. We're back. LED madness. The last time you saw me, I was fighting with the LEDs because it wasn't working. I got it all working initially tonight when I was in the far side of the room. Then I wanted to have the box and everything over here. Now, like a fool, I forgot that LEDs go one way, don't they? And I've gone from that side to that side. So you can't power and put data that side and go the other way. Even if you put data over at the beginning, you can put power at the end and it all works. So what I've done, and I've not quite finished it yet, but what I've done, I've now taken the wiring, power and data, up over in cables, and I'm going to show you where it's going. So it goes up over, it's all a bit of a mess at the moment, and goes back down to the original starting point of the LEDs. Now, if I plug in my little WLED box that I made, be available soon to buy if you want one, guys. Plug it in and watch it all go around, and there it is. You can see it's actually working now. I've got to connect it up to your Wi-Fi and get it all sorted. I've got to tie up the wiring, but One happy guy, I'll tell you, one happy guy, because it was starting to frustrate me. So I'm going to get that all tidied up now. The next bit of the video, I'm going to show you how to program an ESP32 chip. Really, really important if you want to do this project. Really quite easy. It is very, very quite easy. But if you're not, confident in doing things like that, I will be selling these little boxes very soon. In the UK, I don't know if it's going to be reasonable to send them abroad, but who knows? Who knows? It might be reasonable. But I'm going to make it up in little boxes. This is a prototype here. And you can see, I'm just going to come down a little bit closer so you can see it. There's the box. All the chip and everything's in there. It'll come with a little connector, and that will go to the LED. Don't ignore my dodgy wiring. And the other side will go to your power supply, which you can supply. And I'll be knocking them out soon, and hopefully the 3D printing of the box will be a lot better as well. Anyway, very happy now. So the next thing, like I said, is I'm going to carry on. In the next bit, we're going to show you how to program the chip and go through all that. And I think what we might do then is we may do a separate video on what's possible with the WLED. We got some different setups around the house, so I'm going to show you a couple of different setups, and we'll do that. Anyway, while we're there, back talking about the actual room, you can see as we look around, we have the battening in now for the bar. So these just painting that wall so we can get that all in. There's going to be all mirrors at the top, and the bar will be in. That scaffold plank we're using for that, and you can see we use quite substantial bolts to put that battening in, and that will be in very shortly. So we'll come back in a separate video showing you that later. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this website. This is installwled.me. Link will be down below in the description as well. And literally, you go into this page and you install the WLED. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to plug in the board, and I want to show you something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Device Manager onto the screen, and we're interested in the ports area. So if we go to ports, and you'll notice straight away that COM4 is created when we plug it in. So what that tells us is when we go to the next stage of the install, where we go to install, and it says, do you want to install? We got various different, I should show you that as well. We can install different versions as well. So you can see there are lots of different versions, and maybe you need to read up a little bit and decide which one you want. You'll notice there's lots of different, well, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different versions at this moment in time. So we click on install, and we know it's COM4, so that's the one we want to select because we saw COM4 created. Then failed to execute the open command. So let's just try. Did I do something? So what that tells me is, if we go back to Device Manager, that the drivers are not correct. Now, this is something a lot of people are going to have. So hit install, and you see here, no device found. So we click on that. You might be missing the driver for your board. Here are the drivers and chips commonly used on ESP boards. So you might have to change the driver. Now, if you haven't done this before, it's relatively simple. You download the drivers, and we go into Device Manager, and you've got your community. You're on COM4, right? USB serial COM4, and we're going to update driver. And something else, you're asked whether it's a square chip or the rectangular chip. Now, the square chip is a CP2102, and the rectangular chip is CH34X, and that's the drivers you're downloading. Now, that is the chip we're looking at, and you can see that that's most definitely a rectangular chip. We're going to download the driver for that chip, which is the rectangular one. It brings us off to this GitHub webpage, and we want, for me, I want the Windows version. So we're going to download the Windows version. Download that to our hard drive. Then we're going to extract that. And there's the driver we're looking for. So it's quite a, well, it's a 10-year-old driver, so we're just going to click install there. Okay, so pay attention to the name there. It almost says Chaser, doesn't it? So you know that driver. So the reason I'm saying that is because when we come back to Device Manager, you can see the different drivers now that are installed. And hopefully that one there is the one that's 10 years old. And it's a CH340 Chaser driver, version 3.420. Now, we got a newer version, but that didn't work. You saw that, so we're going to just go through the process now. And hopefully, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring up the web page again. And I'm glad we've had a few issues doing it, because if you get issues, you know what's happening. So there's two possible scenarios: the cable or the driver. Now we're talking, so we're just going to go to install. We know it's COM4, connect, and you can see it's connected. That looks good. That really looks good, because it's recognised the device. You can see there it's recognised the device where I'd configured it before. So what we're going to do is we can change Wi-Fi, or we can erase the user data. So we're going to erase, and then we're going to reinstall. And of course, if it hadn't been installed before, you'd only see install, not erase. Now I'm putting there's lots of little boxes I'm putting up here now, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put a little box up beside me, so you can see what the actual chipset's looking like while it's being installed. You can see the little blue LED flashing. Just helps you recognise everything you're doing, so you know it's running right. And once that's completed, that will be literally everything. I'm just going to extend that a bit so you can see me a bit better. Once that's completed, that will be the end of this video. You'll have WLED installed, and you will be able to connect to your LEDs. Well, you have to do a little bit more on that circuit board, because you're going to obviously have to put some little jumpers on and everything. But like I said, I will be selling it. So if you wanted to buy one, they will be available in a not too distant future. So there we are. So you get the options to configure your Wi-Fi. So it's picking up all the Wi-Fi's that are available. Now I luckily can put my password in without you seeing, and that will configure the Wi-Fi. So that's just connecting now. And hopefully this has been really, really helpful for you. I know it's been a bit jumpy around, and all these videos are going to be a little bit jumpy. They're not as smooth, I don't think, as my other channel. Which, if you want to see them over to, oh, unable to connect. That's interesting. Just try that one more time. We've been having a few problems with the Wi-Fi in the house today. So maybe I'm going to have to go away and do that. But you shouldn't have any issues at this point. Fingers crossed, he says. No, it's not liking that, so we're just going to skip out of that at the moment. And that would be how you would install it. Sadly, I've not connected to the Wi-Fi. But what I can do now, so that's happened to you, you can go, install, connect, and then change Wi-Fi. So you can actually go in and still configure that. That's unbelievable. That is the dash cam on my car, which is way over that way. You can see we've got different Wi-Fis there, so maybe it's not picking up. We've got a mesh Wi-Fi in this house, and I can't say I'm very impressed with it. I spent quite a bit of money installing this new Wi-Fi, and maybe I'll do a video on that at some stage if it's interesting. There you are, device connected. So we can visit the device now. I'm just going to show you the device, so you can see this web page, and that's all the configuration we got. But even better than that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camera beside me, so you can see that, and we're going to go into, you can download the app on your phone. I'm just going to find it for you. So hopefully you can see this. Sometimes showing on a phone is not the easiest, but you can see there's two different icons. Now that is the proper one, but that is the one, the native one is the one I use. Now if you go in there, we're going to go, that's the ones I've got set up already. So if I go add new device, there he is. You can see the next one's appeared. That's the one we've just installed. And if I was to go into that, there we are. You can see that, and we have the ability to change anything we want, exactly like on here. And you'll spend hours playing around with the different effects, but we will do a different video about that. So it just leaves me to say thanks for watching the Mark Effect. Hopefully this video has been informative to you, and if it has, please subscribe to the channel. We're a fledgling channel this side, and very few subscribers yet, and we really would like you to help us out and subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and help us get our message out to further more people so they can see some of the simple things that we are doing that can improve their home and things around the home. Anyway, thanks for watching. Next video coming soon. See you later, guys. Bye.